Hello everyone. Hiya. Please, can you hear me? Can anyone type if they can hear me? Okay, thank you, Dadasin. Hi, Benga. Hi, DC. Hi to everyone joining. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're joining from. Thank you for joining. Let's wait for some minutes. I'm not going to pretend that I know some of you that are here. Hello, Tomiwo, I don't know. Hi, Wale. Oh, those are the scholars in the class. Hello, Odunayo Akonde, welcome. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of my people. Good morning, guys. Afternoon, evening. I'm not going to pretend I know you all, so I'm just going to mention your name like casually. Forgive me in advance. Okay, so you're just going to wait a couple of minutes, maybe like 3 minutes, and then we'll get started. I'm pulling up the questions that I've received so far so that we can use that. Okay. Thank you for responding. Thank you. I wasn't sure if, anyone can hear me. So, hello, C-triple-U. That's an interesting name. Welcome on board. We're just settling in. Yeah, we're just settling in and trying to wait for others to join before we start. Hi, Dazubati. Welcome. Okay. Hello, Nengi. Welcome on board. Okay, so we will be starting in 3, 2, 1, and yes. Okay. Hola, ciao, like we say in the Italian. I'm actually trying to add someone to this call. Oh, technology will not disgrace me today. Yay! I was like, is it that I don't know how to do this thing? Oh, Nengi, can you hear me? Oh, she dropped again. Oh my goodness. I don't even, okay, I think I see where you add people now. Yes, I see it. Nengi is going to be assisting me today to read out the questions, and I'll be doing justice to it. I don't know if she has seen this, but okay, let me invite her again. Okay, so hi. Oh, let me just say hi. Hello. Okay, now you're here. Hi, hola, C-triple-U. You make me remember my time in Italy when we say ciao. Hola is like the Spanish language. Hello, Wanja. Thank you for joining. Hi, Tosi Ademolu, I see you. Welcome. Guys, this is my first IG live. Not like this is my first IG live. This is like the first IG live that I'm the one like doing it. Most of the other IG live I've done is like someone inviting me. So I'm a bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. Even though people think that I'm not a shy person, I can be a bit shy. So if you just see me misbehaving or just, doing somehow, just please Forgive me in advance. Hello, Alo Adeshola. Thank you for joining as well. Oh, yes, I remember you. I think that's Tosin. Welcome. So I don't want to waste our time. So I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm trying to bring Nengi on board. She's supposed to help with maybe questions that I may miss in the section, but I don't know why she's like off and on. I'm just going to try one more time and we'll start. Time is very precious, so I don't want to waste people's time at all. So I'm just going to invite her again. Hi, Brafala. Why are you guys laughing at me? I'm serious. People think I'm not a shy person, but trust me, I can be really. I was nervous. I'm so nervous doing this, but hey, we do these things afraid and just jump in the bus and do it. So, hello, Roots Nights. Hi, Cornerstone GB. Thank you for joining. Hello, Mob Designs. Oh my God. Actually, these are my cousins. I'm seeing like, oh, my family are so, oh, I love you guys. You people are so wonderful. Thank you for joining and supporting. Yes, we do it afraid. Okay, Nengi is sending me. I'm just going to start right away. But while I'm waiting for Nengi, can you tell me where you're joining from and maybe how you came across this? I know some of you know me personally, but just tell me, I saw it on your personal page, or just tell me you harassed me in my DM to join. Whatever way you've joined, please just, where you're from, Lagos, Abuja, Canada, Ontario, whatever, Bermuda Triangle, or maybe you're in the ocean. Wherever you're joining from, let me see it in the comment section. Hello, Chris Femi. Thank you for joining. I'm just trying to accept this request. I don't know. Instagram is not allowing me to accept the request. Oh, some people want to jump out. Physically in Nigeria, Canada and Hearts. Oh. Hi, Bengai Lauren Quara. Thank you for joining. Can you hear me, Nengi? Can you hear me now? I don't know. I think our network is really, really poor. Okay. I think I'll just go on. Yeah, I think I'll just go on. She can help me look out for questions in the chat. Okay, let's get started. Time is precious. Like I used to say, time na money. Time na money. So don't let us waste money anyhow this morning. So first of all, thank you all so much for joining. I'm still looking forward to see where you're joining from. Only two of you have answered. I really want to know, where people are joining from. Don't pretend that I know. Please just drop it in the comment section. And yes, so why are we here? I saw the graphics of Mob Design. Oh, thank you, Shola. Thank you for joining. And a big shout out to Mob Design for sharing. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. You know I love you. Thank you. So a bit about me and why we are doing this. My name is Oluwatoyin Yetunde Sani. I like reading my full name. ICCCCCU. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I have said my name again. I'll go about it. Oluwa Sambisa. Please, you people should let me be serious. Please let me be serious. The comments over. Joining from Metaverse. Have you bought land there? Guys, you see why tech is like, oh my goodness, it's like the new wave. Because people are buying lands. People are literally buying lands. Like virtual lands. On Metaverse. Okay, so I am Oluwatoyin Yetunde Sani. I like to be referred to as Oluwayetty. Yes, and why am I doing this? I get a lot of questions from people, and I'm kind of eyeing those people that send DM to me and they are not here. Well, let's see what will happen because I'm not going to do this again. I've said afterwards, after this, I'm just going to start charging because I think people, when there is not a price tag to things, people don't take it like seriously. Because I'm actually shocked that I don't see many of those people that send DMs and LinkedIn messages and saying, help me, because I basically like send the screenshot of the flyer to them, like, okay, join this, because many of them would just come and say, please, I want a one-on-one with you. And I'm like, if I'm doing one-on-one with everybody, I'm not even going to have time for myself. So I said, okay, let me do this. But anyway, let's move on. I get like questions from people about different things. Some people want to get into data science. Some people don't even know what they want to do, and they just want to figure out, which part of tech is best for them. So that's why I decided to do this. And well, about me, let me see. I studied computer science as my bachelor's, and then I did my master's degree in AI and robotics. So now I am a researcher. I work in the AI and robotics space as a researcher. I work with the academic for now. So yeah, you can tell it's not the industry, but the academic as a researcher. Okay, I can save. I hope I know how to save. Guys, see, there are some things that you will not expect somebody like me not to know. And one of those things is things like going live, bringing people on board, or things like saving live sessions. So I hope that when we are done, I'm going to save that option. Please let me know. Can I see the option when I finish? Because I don't think I did any settings like save this. So I don't even know how it works. I'm just hoping that this session will be saved. Thank you. It will bring the notification when I'm done. Okay, thank you. Yay! You see, I'm receiving help from you people. I don't know plenty things like that. You see, I don't know. Okay, thank you, Mob Design. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to save it. That's good. So it will save me the stress of, I'll just send it to them. All right. So now I'm going to open some of the questions. I've already said about me. I am very passionate about women in tech, but at the same time, I'm passionate about, helping people get into the tech industry. I also help students review essays and letters. I studied in Italy, and I paid 186 euros as my tuition fees in Italy. So if in case you are not aware, I like saying it, I'm bragging everywhere that I didn't pay pounds or plenty money for my master's education. Yes, I paid 186 euros as my tuition fees in Italy. So you may want to ask me about that later, but anyway, let's just go on. So what's the first question I have? Someone said there's 1,001 materials on the internet about machine learning. So I'm assuming this person wants to get into machine learning, which make it difficult to make the choice on which to settle for as a beginner. What are the materials that helped you gain ground when you began your journey? That's actually a very, very good question. I used to say that if I'm to repeat my journey, there are some things that I'm not going to do. So I'm just going to like briefly touch on how I got into AI, where I started from. I'm going to invite Nengi again because I don't know, but I'm just going to keep talking as I'm waiting for her to join. So I started my journey into AI in 2012. Yeah, I'm not really a small girl like that. See, guys, I can be so unserious. All right, all right. Let me be serious. Yeah, 2012 was when I began the journey, and what brought me to AI was I saw a series titled Personal. Hello, Nengi. Oh, I think our network is really poor. Okay, but anyway, if you can hear me, can you like this? Like shake your head, shake your head. Can you hear me? She can't. Okay. I think there's just something wrong with her audio. She said she can't hear me. Please just give me a moment. I'll just carry on. So, I saw a series titled Person of Interest, and it was modeled after the September 11 bombing in the US, and the US government wanted a computer science professor that could build a machine that could predict the act of terrorism before it occurs. So it was just a non-fiction, right? But it was like, okay, this September 11 bombing, we don't want it to happen again. Can you tell us when there will be an attack on on the US soil or whatever? And yeah, that was actually, it was like 6 seasons or something. And at that time, I was already doing computer science. I was already in my final year of school. And watching this movie kind of just made, you know how Nigerian education can be so theoretical, if I can put it that way. And we are just doing la cram la pour without knowing, what we're doing. So that was how I actually started learning and seeing how the things I was being taught in class were being played out in this movie by this professor. So I was like, okay, this looks like, things have started making sense to me. And at that time, this was 2012, guys. That was like 9 years ago. So that it was not even AI. Like now, AI is like everywhere, everywhere. But then it was so hard for me to even know where to start or how to start. But I just knew that this thing, I think I like it, and it sounds interesting and I want to do it. So since then, I didn't know how to get started. I thought, okay, if I can code, that's how to get, because it's in the movies. What you see is the computer science professor typing, and you know how we see it in the movies, like your head's just shooting out code. So I felt, okay, I need to be a great developer before I can be an AI, engineer or whatever. So I didn't have a guide. I didn't really know how to go about it. Even in Nigeria, it was not something that was common. And I was just very confused about how to go. So I said, okay, let me learn how to code. And that journey led me to Andela. When I got to Andela, I discovered that, okay, learning how to code is very different from how AI works and what it takes to be an AI engineer. So I started taking like machine learning courses. I took some courses from Udacity. And after I took those courses, I took a nano degree. I felt, okay, people will start calling me for jobs and I will get jobs. But that was not the case. They were still telling me like, you are not qualified enough for the job, even though I could code and I had done like some data science and machine learning courses. So at the end of the day, I had to go for a master's degree, and that journey took me 9 years to be here. But that is actually one of the reasons why I am very passionate about it, because I feel that they are shortcuts. There are not a lot of resources that are out there. And unlike my days, that those days when there were no resources, what we have now is an overwhelming number of courses. How do you get started in machine learning and data science? I would say I wouldn't want to use. Okay, I think Nengi is trying to join with another account, so let me add her. Accept. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
at
here.
last. Thank God. Okay, so this is Nengi. She'll be helping me with the questions and any question you may have in the session. But now I will just continue. So I've read the first question, Nengi, the one on the first, like the first one on the list. So how do you get started in machine learning data science? I would say one of the things that you have to do is to find boot camps. It may be paid, right? Although there are a lot of things about paid boot camps as well, but there are also free boot camps. Find boot camps. Boot camps are one of the ways that you can get started. And boot camps usually have affiliations with the industry such that when you're done, they can even, get you started as an employee of a company. Because truly there are many resources. However, I have like mentored people to start from very low beginning, like very low level. They don't have anything, and they don't have any knowledge even about Python. So I start from the level that you are. If you already know Python programming, what I usually do is there are these 4 courses and they are free on Udacity. How do you go about it? Inferential statistics on Udacity, descriptive statistics, because you need statistics to be a thorough data science scientist. And then you can now move on to data science and then machine learning. There are these 4 courses, and I'm thinking maybe I'm going to actually, I've been thinking about creating a curriculum where I'm pointing people to resources where if you want me to do this, let me know. Just say it in the comment section. Would you like me to create like a cheat sheet where I can say, if you're a newbie, start from here. If you know Python, start from, and I just put like an arrow of pointing you to from 0 to 1 of data science. Okay, yes. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to do that cheat sheet, because there are a lot of resources, but I believe that people would need this cheat sheet to know how to get started. But I would say the first thing is to go for boot camps. Boot camps are very helpful because they have a standard curriculum and they'll just take you through. So what makes you a data science? How do you choose a boot camp? Because trust me, there are some boot camp that are shitty. Like you finish and you're like still back to zero. Not back to zero, maybe like 0.2, right? So how do you know when a boot camp is, standard and it's what you should go for? I'm also going to put it in the cheat. I think this information is not something that I can really say here, because there are a lot of resources. So I'm just going to have that cheat sheet. So when you're going for a boot camp, you can match their curriculum to what I have, and you can kind of, put things together. So I think I answered the first question. I'm going to do the cheat sheets, and because there are many materials truly, and I will put the materials that I've used. This is proven. This is not something that I'm just going to start coming up with. I have used it with some of my mentees, and I've seen them grow through. If you follow it the way I put it, you're actually going to grow. Someone is asking, do you want to ask the second question? I'll just leave it to you.
So I think this is Chingwei asking if the class is free. I think they're referring to your Python class.
Python class, yes, it's free. So guys, I have these 5 days of Python programming coming up next month, January. So if you don't know Python programming or you've tried, I know people who have tried. I always tell people that programming, see guys, I've promised myself that I'll be real here. I would never consider I never considered myself as someone who could do coding. And I'm not saying this out of, oh, I'm trying to be humble. No, guys. I ran away from coding for years. From my year one to year four, I had people who wanted to teach me for free, like my classmates. I had someone like Nigi who wanted to teach me for free, and I was like, no, this is not for me. I can't learn it. I don't want to. Thank you. So happy to see you too. Hi, Michael, Esther. So I have people who wanted to teach me how to code, but I said, no, this is not for me. It's for, when in the movies, you're just seeing someone serious, I like this, like, you're like, me, I'm not this serious. This is not me. So I ran away for a very long time. But I can tell you, if you are scared to try programming, if you have tried it before and you feel it's too hard, come to my class. I will break you out of every myth. In fact, I don't want to care if you are the most dullard person in the world. You will learn Python programming in those 5 days. You will get into, of course, we are not going to cover everything. It's just an introduction. But my mission is that after that 5 days, you are leaving knowing that you can actually learn how to code. So is it free? Yes, it's free. So please come. Hi, Anu, thank you for joining. I see you. So I think I've answered that. What's the next question we have?
Okay, Shali, Aminat asking, what do I need to do to kick off AI/robotics?
For the AI part, I think I've said I'm going to like come up with, something. So let's also define it. Is AI different from machine learning? Absolutely, yes. AI is not the same as machine learning. If I ask how many people, if you do machine learning, if you're here and you do machine learning, do you know a star algorithm? Let me just see if anybody knows a star algorithm. Can you program with Prolog? Please just say no or yes. Don't be ashamed. I'm not trying to drag anybody. Trust me. I'm just trying to say there is a difference between AI and machine learning. No. Okay. Tell me why. I think I don't believe you because I know you. Can you program in Prolog? Can you build expert systems? Can you build like a path traversal systems like A-star algorithms? And in fact, I've even forgotten most of them because I don't use them now. When I went for my master's, well, that was when I realized that AI and machine learning, please don't call them the same thing. They are different. Under AI, we have machine learning. Under AI, we have expert systems. Under AI, we have fuzzy logic. We have like different things under AI. It's just that machine learning is the one that is being out there because it's dependent on data. And why is it shining now? It's because over the years we have been able to store data. We have been able to build big, computing machines. There's now the 5G thing. There is cloud computing. So we have been able to like store data, right, over the years. And that is why machine learning, which is under a branch under AI, is now something that is out there. But AI is not the same as machine learning. AI is basically when you're trying to make a system smart, right? That's just the concept, building intelligent systems. But machine learning is when you are trying to build these intelligent systems with data, predict, reinforcement learning, trying to like maybe train an agent or a robot to perform a task. Now that is, so far you are incorporating data set with your intelligent system. That is when machine learning comes in, because your machine is now learning from data set. But we have other cases. For example, my final year project during my undergrad was an expert system, where I built like this expert system that can rely on your symptoms. So if you have any dental ailments, you can put in your symptoms, and then this expert system does some fuzzy logic behind the scene, and then tells you what ailments that you're likely to have, like a probability. Of course, it can also bring data science or machine learning into this. So there are different ways we tackle different intelligent systems, but AI is not the same as machine learning. I have to just say this so that I can now answer the question. How do you get started in AI? I wouldn't say that when people call themselves AI engineer, the truth is that they cannot, it's not possible that you are able to be an expert in all of the components under AI. They are probably, I'm assuming that this person is probably just saying machine learning and robotics. So I'm just going to say, because being an AI engineer is a lot of things. So you can't say, oh, because there are branches under AI. It's like saying, I want to be a developer. Do you want to be a mobile developer or, a web developer, for example? So getting started in AI, I would say that maybe, something that is far-fetched in a way. You just need to choose a branch, but I'm assuming that this person is saying machine learning. And I promised earlier, I'm going to develop a cheat sheet or like a curriculum that people can follow to go from 0 to 1. And how do you get started in robotics? I think this is a good time to actually pitch a business or a company that I've been working on with a friend. I've realized that one of the issues of getting started with robotics is that most of the courses you see out there are associated with universities. And because they are associated with universities, then they are more theoretical. They are not really practical. So how do you get started? I wouldn't advise someone who is very new, that is, maybe your bachelor's was not in mechatronics or mechanical engineer, to just say, I want to do a course in robotics. If you have a background in mechatronics and all that, then I can say, okay, you can look out for a course on maybe EDX to do. However, that is not even really reliable. So how do you get started? There are companies like the Constructs, but I'm not going to talk too much about the competition because I see them as a competition now. But if you can wait till January, we are actually working on a platform to create courses in robotics. So if you can wait till January, I was not supposed to say this at all, but I think this is a perfect opportunity to say, if you are interested in robotics, just follow. If you are following me, then you are good because you will see an update, or just look for Reflect Robotics and follow that page. What we are doing is creating courses, especially for the African market. If you are not an African, you are also welcome. We are just, very passionate about robotics education in Africa. So yes, that's the platform you need to go, but you have to wait till January. Okay, so I think I answered that. I think I did, although I answered it by, pitching. It's because I'm not even pitching Reflect Robotics, which is part of what I'm working on because I'm doing it. Is because we have actually checked other existing courses and I cannot, yeah, like I have integrity and I don't want to tell you to go somewhere when I know that what I'm creating is better than that. Because, yeah, that's why I don't want to say try the construct or try this or try that. There is, okay, the other one I can say you can try is the Udacity Robot Software Engineer, but they will only teach you the practical. That's it. When you even want to digest research papers, you can't because they are only teaching you how to create robots in simulations and control it. There is really no theory. I did masters in AI robotics, so I can tell you that I have gone through that same Udacity course and now it's nothing close to what I had during my masters. And that's what Reflect Robotics is going to be about. We are going to be like the theory and the practical, putting everything together. Okay.
All right. So there's somebody who wants to know how much time they need to put in weekly. Unfortunately, it's not tagged to anything. We don't know how much I want to put in if you want to go into AI or robotics? So just in general, how much time do I need to put in weekly? I don't know if you want to answer that.
I would try. I would just assume that this person is asking about maybe any career. Let's say any sort of career. Um, so for me, when I started data science, machine learning, and all that, I was dedicating 2 weeks, 2 hours per day for about 6 months. And on weekends, I think I was dedicating about 4 hours on Saturdays. So that is like 14
Saturdays
hours.
and Sundays or just Saturdays?
No, Monday to Friday, I do 2 hours. So then I was working at Andela and then I was working with a client based in the US and I usually start work like 3 p.m. So I'll go to the office or 2 p.m. or 12, I can't remember, but I'll go to the office like very early in the morning. Like I'm going to proper work and I resume like 9 and then from 9 to like 12 I'm like doing my machine learning course. And I was doing that for like 6 months. And then on Saturday, 4 hours. The thing is, depends on how you are able to assimilate faster. It depends on how it's a lot of factors put together because some people they take time. I am one of those people that take time to know things. I'm not ashamed of that. So if you take somebody 2 hours, it might take me 4 hours to learn. But maybe on an average, I would say 10 hours per week is a good start for anything you really want to learn. 10 hours is a good start.
All right, so we can move on to the next question then. So somebody says, when or if considering switching to tech, which would you say is more important? Would it be my interest or my background?
Okay, both are important. You can't pick one. Your interest matters, your background matters. So I was saying, I was telling one of my big brother, and he's like my cousin, is my not like who is like my cousin as well. How your previous background that is even non-tech can actually be helpful for a tech career you're going. And the example that I cited was if you're a customer support officer, for example, and you want to go into tech, there your interest let's assume that when you are doing your customer support officer job at whatever industry is because you have interest in maybe helping out and all of that. If you're bringing that into tech, that was also very useful because we have support engineers as well in tech. It's just that maybe we don't call them maybe customer support engineer, we call them tech support engineers, right? And that means number one, you'll be passionate about tech, and then you are passionate about helping people. So let's say a Google tech support blah blah blah, or an Instagram tech support person is maybe, for example, they locked me out of my Instagram, or somebody reported me and then Instagram blocked me. Those people that you write to Instagram and say, oh, please open back my account. Those are tech support engineers. They look into what is wrong and how they can help you, but it is now like based in tech. Or for example, it may be like the Google Home Mini, for example, and I have that, and maybe there's a problem with it, and then I write to the customer support care and they are helping me. So many of us, we probably bought like tech products, and somehow we needed some support. Those people who answer you, they are support engineers. Though if you take that outside of tech, they're like customer care, you get. So I think it's a combination of your interests and, sorry, what's that question again? The interest and something.
Interest and your background.
Yeah, so
So
you're hmm go on,
I
you
was going
wanted
to
to.
ask, yeah, so I think I want to like elaborate more on the question because I think I kind of understand where this person is
Yeah,
coming
sure, please
from.
feel free.
So yeah, for instance, a person who has no idea in tech at all, I think generally speaking, it's people would advise that you don't just start from the hardest thing. Say, for example, you have no background in computing, like you didn't do computer science for your
Mm,
undergrad, and then you just want to venture into say robotics. It might be much more difficult. So
difficult.
would you like advise this person to go, okay, your goal is robotics, but do you want to like start from maybe learning how to code or doing some back end stuff or just generally getting into easing into an easier career in tech first
In tech.
and then from there. I think that's what it is. I think
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. I think that was very clear. Yes, your background would determine, yeah, it would surely determine how you get started into it. But I would also highlight that the background should not be a factor to why you say you don't want to do this. It's just you acknowledging that, okay, this is where I stand, this is where I'm going, and
I need to do some certain things to get there. But I believe like your background will determine how far you want to go, how far you would like the miles to the journey where you're trying to, get to. Yeah, your background will surely play a role, but at the same time, don't let it be like a limitation. So I like that question because for me, my bachelor's was in computer science degree, like computer science, right? And then I did a master's in AI and robotics. I struggled a lot with my robotics courses, and that was because I didn't have an engineering background. So it was a lot of struggles. I had to go back to Khan Academy because at a point I was frustrated and I had to go and meet the professor. I was like, I don't understand what you teach in class. I am from a computer science background and I think this is why. What do you think I should do? And he was like, oh yeah, you can go to Khan Academy, take linear algebra, take probability, take some matrix, refresh yourself on matrices and all of those things. And after I did it, I started, getting along with the classes. So yes, your background, it's a combination of your interest and your background because at some point, your background, yeah, may help you to say, okay, I need to start here. But your interest at some point is what will keep you going. Yeah,
So your interest should determine like where you want to go, but your background can help you plot your chart, something like that.
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Somebody says you're a genius.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, we've also been getting comment questions in the comment section, so you can
Okay.
actually drop your questions there. But I'm going to move on to the questions we received earlier. How can I get into tech, data analytics, or other ones with no background in computer science and other technology fields of study?
Oh, that's very wild.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I will attack it from the first part, getting into data analytics. Data analysis is different from data science, but I would say in this world that we are, don't just sit with analytics. Try to move on. It's like sometimes I used to shade people that are doing WordPress and Wix website and they say, so I'm a developer. And then I'm not dissing anybody. I'm just being realistic. And then they will put blocks together and say, I'm a developer. They are using Wix. And I always tell them, go and learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript because times are evolving, guys. Even that I have a master's degree in AI and robotics, I am constantly racing to improve my skills, guys, because times are evolving. With tech, it's like if you decide to just sit with that small thing that you know, the world will just move on and you become obsolete. That's the truth. So I really want to advise this person, don't sit with just data analytics. Because when we talk about data analytics, then we can just, your box can just be within Excel and Tableau, and that will be all. You become a data analyst. Do you get? You don't have to go to Python like that. You can just sit with Excel and Tableau and you'll be fine. But I always tell people try to learn Python. If you can already do Excel, if you can already do Tableau, go on to Python. So what do you need? If it's I'm not going to force anything on you. But if it is just about data analytics, the two things that you need to learn is find courses that are based on data analysis with Excel and with Tableau. And I wouldn't say R because when you say R is also moving to like data science and machine learning. But if you can ground your knowledge on data analytics and Excel and also Tableau, then those are like the two major things that you need to know to become a data analytics or a data analyst. Sorry. For the second part of the question about other types, this is actually one that I've been very eager to respond to. So when you want to get into tech, how do you figure out? I understand that for me, I don't even know which one I want to do. If you want to do that, I would say there is really no one way to say this is you. I can't look at you and say you is project manager, you is product design, you is robotics or something like that. It would depend on what you have interest in. And to be honest, it may be very hard at the beginning to even know what interests you. So I always tell people to go online and check. So for example, if you think, okay, I think I want to try coding, just check for, coding jobs. So under coding jobs, for example, you can have you have like software development. And under software development, you have mobile app, you have web app. In fact, you have desktop app. You have that. So when I say desktop app, those things you download and you are sitting for maybe for some of you that use Slack, for example, or various OS, you are using Slack. Those are desktop apps. So there are people who their focus is desktop app. There are people who are mobile. So there are people who are just back end. They are not even doing front end. So there are a lot of different coding jobs, and I believe you may not gain clarity until you put yourself into doing. There's this thing I always like to say, that clarity comes from doing. You may not know what you want to do until you say, okay, let me try this, let me try that. Guys, before I went into coding, I was doing OAP. I was writing songs and playing guitar. At some point, I was making shoes and bags. At some point, I was cooking food for people. I'm serious. Like, I was doing like catering, making snacks for people. That was when I was, in service here anyway. And I was doing like different things. But because I didn't really know what would interest me, but whatever I see myself as someone who is very reckless. Like, whatever comes to my mind that, I think you should do this, I just go into it and then I do it. And after some time, I'll find out like, okay, this doesn't interest me. So you need to like go out there, read about, Google is your best friend. If you go to Google and type coding jobs available or top coding jobs and all of those things, you're actually going to see like different lists. And most of this blog will actually explain what each of these jobs is about. Then you can decide, okay, I think this is interesting. That's actually how I started. So I think this may be useful to someone. I went online, I started reading different topics under AI and all of that. And from there, I saw that, okay, this particular one jumped at me when I read it. And then I started making more inquiries about it. If you do follow me, or maybe you're subscribed to my channel, part of the things I want to do for the first quarter of next year is to actually bring people from different backgrounds. That is, people from coding and people from non-coding, because to say this is what you should do is really like when you're trying to find a needle in a what they call that thing now, so you can't really say this is how you go about it. It's until you explore, read, and find out about, okay, what do you do in your job, what do you do in your job, and then you will suddenly find one that kind of shout at you and interest you, and from there you can then get started. A single hack that I always give people is, when you have figured out like, okay, I think I can do this or that, the thing you want to do is go to LinkedIn, especially if you don't have people that are in your circle that are already doing that thing. Go to LinkedIn. If, for example, you want to be a project manager, go to LinkedIn, find people who are project managers, right? Find like top 10 or 10 people, rather. Go to their skills and experiences section. Study what they have done in school. Study the courses they have taken for all those 10 people, and write down like the top 5 skills that you see that are common to those 10 people. Trust me, this hack work, because I always tell people to do it, and I've seen it really work for a lot of people. So when you pick the 5 top skills that they have, a direction. It gives you a sense of, okay, all of the 10 people that have this title, they have done these 5 things. All of them have these 5 skills in common. And then you can now go online and then search courses, or, look at how you can start gaining those skills. So there's no one way to it. It's just about exposing yourself to what people do in different roles, and then seeing one that may interest you, and then start, gaining the skills and exposure.
All right. We have 4 more questions. Yeah,
Right.
from competition. So I think we can just quickly run through them. Rejoice mentioned that she wants to switch. She wants to get into data science by next year, and she's giving herself from January till July, but she said 6 months. So she wants to know how she can get a hold of the curriculum you mentioned earlier.
I would, because I'll have to host this curriculum somewhere, maybe on my website or something. But I would try to do it. I don't want to promise and fail, but you will get it before next year, that is for sure. So I'll try and do it before, maybe, or by end of the week. It's a lot of putting things together. So I'm just going to create this curriculum and see, if you are here, start here. If you are here, start there, and I'll just jot like the roadmap. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not following her, you should probably follow her now so that you can get the update. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Michael Esther mentioned that she wants to learn JavaScript, but she doesn't know where to start.
Code Academy. If you are a new beginner to programming, like you don't even know, if you know Python already, then I won't say Code Academy. But if you want to learn a language and you are very new to, programming, Code Academy have a free course on JavaScript. I would advise that she start from there. Like that's the first place because the truth is I have seen other courses and they can be overwhelming. But there's a way Code Academy makes learning interactive and fun. And also I would say try and get a mentor. I don't really train people in it's not like I don't know JavaScript or something. I used to like do it back in the day during my time at Andela, but yeah, I would say also try and get a mentor who can, guide you. And yeah, that's very important. If you're in Nigeria, try to attend tech conferences. That's actually how you learn. That's how you need to put yourself out there, find people who are already there, and link with them and see what they're doing and get their help. But yeah, Code Academy is a good place to start.
All right, we have another question from Justice, and he's asking to know how important graduate school is to a career in data science and machine learning. Is it important to further your studies?
Uh, oh, she's in Estonia. Okay. Michael, Esther, if you can DM me after the call, do that. I will try and find, because I have friends. Hopefully, I can rub their head and find one of them to say they can they can mentor you. Because I mean, I have JavaScript ninjas and they are really good. Guys, I'm very passionate about people learning. So if I can't do it, I'll find someone who can at least, take you on that journey of learning JavaScript. Sorry, we were saying something before.
Somebody just was asking about how important graduate school is to a career in data science and machine learning.
It depends on where the person wants to go. It depends on your goals, to be honest. Depends on where you really, if it's just about working in the industry, being as, doing data science and machine learning, there are several online courses. Graduate school is not the only way. The reason why I went for graduate school was because I had taken courses that I'm telling you to even take, and I was not getting jobs. The thing with Udacity courses, so I think my own mistake was just sticking to the Udacity platform. The thing about Udacity is that they don't really go deep to show you the math behind the scene. So, for example, you can know how to use TensorFlow library or use sklearn and all of those things, but you would not know the math that is going behind the scene. So, if you want to just be the basic industry data science machine learning engineer, then a graduate school may not be necessary. But if you are interested in things like research, and research does not have to be in academic. People do research in the industry. So let me give an example why I would think like a graduate school may be a better option. I'm starting like a new job soon, and when I during the phase of my interview, one of the things that they asked me to do, they gave me a problem that they were facing with their product, like there was a particular initiative or something that they needed help with, and there was no way I was going to bring the basic data science or machine learning solution to it. I had to go and read papers, and I could digest those papers because the how will I put it, the background from school. Because in school, you read research papers, you do literature survey, they teach you the maths. They don't just tell you y is equals to mx plus b, or they don't just tell you decision trees is a good classifier. You know why decision trees is a good classifier because you understand the mathematics behind the scene. Can you learn this thing outside of school? Yes, there are courses but before you may even find the problem is that there are many things out there and you may always find out that you're wasting your time, you know, doing different. So if you can do the work of finding courses that explain the science behind all of these algorithms that you are using, then you may not need a graduate school. There's really no yes or no. It depends on how much you are willing to. If you can afford graduate school, honestly, I'll always tell people to go for graduate school. Graduate school take you deeper. I have seen where most of the things that I do now, it's because I went to graduate school. There was no way the Udacity machine learning course was going to help me to know those things. It was because the graduate school gave me that leverage. So it depends on you. If you are not willing to go into research, if you are not willing to compete in an environment where people are going to graduate school, because trust me, most people, I have seen people who didn't go to school. So I have a friend who was working with a German company, which is actually, I don't want to mention the name to protect his identity. He didn't have a bachelor's and all of those things. And he was able to get into this German company all the way from Nigeria. They sponsored him. But I saw that after 1 year, he started asking me, graduates, because you will always see a gap between you and the person that went to school. You would always see it play out. So I asked to ask him, boy, you're already doing fine at your work. Why are you going for a graduate school? And he said, yes, there are many things that I don't know, that I thought that, he was feeling like the local champion. But when he got to so I'm not talking about being in Nigeria. When you come out here, like the international market, many people, they like school abroad, the Westerners like school. So somebody will prefer to choose someone who have gone through that rigorous theoretical distance before they can actually employ you. And even when they employ you, you will find yourself lacking behind because you have not really grounded yourself in some things which graduate school would provide for you. So to be honest, it's not because I went to a graduate school. I'm a very pro, you can go to graduate school. You can always learn them outside of school, like I said, but it may be hard for you to find one resource that will provide all of those back-end, what's going on behind the scene information. And graduate school have put the curriculum together for you.
Okay, I think we have two more questions before we wrap up.
All right, thanks.
I am a firma wants to know what languages to learn to get into data engineering. And then somebody else, Alo Adesola, is asking about non-coding tech opportunities and wanted to talk a bit about them.
Oh, that's a big thing to talk about. Okay, for the data engineering, you need Python and Scala. I hope I'm right. Yeah, it's Scala. Yeah, you need those two language to, is it Scala or Spark? I'm mixing. Just please hold on. Yeah, it's Spark. Sorry, Apache Spark. You can write that down. Apache Spark. Yeah, it's used for big data, and I mean, if you are doing data engineering, you're trying to build pipelines, right? So you need Apache Spark to learn how to use it, and then you will need some Python programming as well. So that's very different from data science, actually. Okay, so non-coding tech opportunities. There are a lot of them. We can't cover it. That's why I said I'm going to do a YouTube series where I'm bringing people from many backgrounds to talk about what they do. But I mean, I can throw some of them out there. You have things like product designer. You can be a UI UX designer. You can be a game developer. I think some people even do game development. Okay, but I think for game development you need Unity, so that's coding. So yeah, scratch that. But you can do project management. You can do product management. If you're looking for a product management course, there is this company in Nigeria called Product Dive, or is it Product K Dive? I can't remember their name really now, but you can just try to find Product Dive. So there's project management, there is tech support, which is non-coding. So you're just like a customer care for tech-based products. You also have business analysts. Although business analysts sometimes they make use of tools like Tableau, but I mean it does not have to be like in-depth coding. There are many and several of them, but I don't think I can cover that in this IG live. Just look out for my posts on YouTube, and you will start a series on dwelling into coding and non-coding opportunities.
All right. We have one more question. Or
Okay.
do we call it? I think we can take the last question and call it a day.
All right. Thanks.
Do we need to learn data science before we can go into machine learning? This is from Babatunde Ibukun Company.
Okay, let me first of all say the difference between data science and machine learning. Data science is the art of you understanding your data, finding patterns. So let's say, for example, you have this data set, confirm it is product. Yes, thank you, Priscilla. So That's for people who want to become, product managers, product owners, or anything product. I think, yeah, you find it there. So data science is when you're trying to find patterns, similarities between data sets. Let's say for a customer, you want to understand, let's say you have an e-commerce, right? And then you have many customers buying things from you. Data science is you trying to understand your customers in order to make decisions and say, oh, at this season in Christmas, my customers in London, they usually buy these things. Or at this season during the summer season, this is what my customers from here, and here, this is what they buy. That's data science, like the science of data, trying to find how data is relating to each other. Machine learning is now when you're using that information, those patterns, to make inference, future inference. So when you come to machine learning, there are different algorithms, right, that you can use to make inference based on what you're finding. And if you don't even understand your inference, if you don't even understand your data, you cannot make inference. You cannot say, let's stock up this store with A, B, C, and D, because from our data, we have found out that in the last 5 years, this is how it works, right? So machine learning is making inferences with information that you have gotten from your data. Although now you see people say they are data science, or you see data science roles, and when you look at the responsibilities or what you have to do, you are actually doing machine learning jobs, right? So now they mix it together. Like if you're a data scientist, you will do machine learning, but you cannot do machine learning without understanding how data works, how data relates. So yes, you need I don't just want to say yes, I want to explain why it's a yes. Yeah. So I think we are done for today.
Yes.
Oh,
That's our
someone
last.
asked, there are some questions.
Really?
Yeah, from Cornerstone, from non-STEM or non-tech background, can one get into, I think maybe because I'm the one that is doing that's why I can see it. So can one get into these courses, Python, AI, and this mentioned? Yes, yes, absolutely, yes. You can. I have a friend who did a bachelor's in economics and now she's a machine learning engineer. There are many people that I know that are in AI, Python, robotics, blah, 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 doing all of those things. And they probably studied maybe agric or they did pharmacy. Like I've seen doctors that are even doing all of these things. So yes, you can definitely, come from non-STEM and get into this career. What's the first step to start learning coding? That's a very big and very interesting question. What's the first step? I think the first step is that you are willing to embrace the journey, because brace up, it's not going to be easy. But I think, yeah, the first step is basically it starts from your willingness to actually do it. And because I wouldn't say your first step is go and find courses. You always find courses. That one is not this thing. The first thing you want to do is set a timetable. If possible, if you can find someone who is doing the same, who is willing to do the same thing, you can do it. But I would also say you don't just jump into coding, because there are many different languages. There is JavaScript, there is Python, there is Ruby, and most of these languages have the domain where they shine. So probably the first thing you also want to do is, why do I want to learn? Why do I want to learn? What am I open to achieve? Do I want to become a web developer? If you want to become a web developer, JavaScript is a good place to start. Do I want to become a data scientist? Yeah. Oh, she left. Okay. If you want to become a data scientist, then Python is a place to start. If you want to become a game developer, then you want to know a bit of Unity and C++, for example. If you want to become a network engineer, I think there are some scripting languages they use for that as well. So it all depends. The first step is knowing your why. And I also want to say that you don't always have to wait till you know your why. Why I'm saying so is because you may start and not even know where you really want to start from. So I always say at that stage, you can start with Python, because Python is very easy. It's easier than JavaScript in my opinion. Some people may not agree, but I think Python is the easiest language that you can learn. So that's the first step you want to do. Know why. And if you don't know why, just start somewhere. Just pick Python. Go to Code Academy, check their Python 2 course, and I know sometimes people just want to explore. They want to see, okay, is this thing for me? So start with free courses and see, you know, how far you're willing to go, how far you're really interested to keep going. Okay, I think Nengi left. So I'm just going to wrap up this session as I'm assuming that there are no more questions. So thank you guys for joining. I promise to give a cheat sheet for people who want to get started in data science. I'll try and do that before the end of the week or by the end of this coming week. And thank you so much, guys, for joining. I'll see you when I see you. Bye. And now I'm figuring out how to end this call. Like I said, I don't know. What am I supposed to press? Oh my goodness. Am I supposed to press the X sign? Hey, technology is dragging me inside mode. I think I'm supposed to press the X sign right. Thank you guys for the love. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just going to click the X sign. Bye.